Jackson. He's right here, sitting on his porch. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Tom. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Quickly, Mr. Jackson, the police have said you should, cooperate with investigations. Are you going to make your way to the headquarters of the Liberian National Police?
Well, listen, yesterday I thought this was like a joke, a fantasy, but it appears that they're trying to put a serious charge on me, so I have to lawyer up. So I have a lawyer, and I'll be leaving here by 11 o'clock to go to the police to cooperate with an investigation. Because I just thought it was all like street gossip that they were carrying, but if this appears to be a serious case, so I have to get a lawyer. So I will go to the court and to the police. I will cooperate, and I'm willing to answer any question, provide any evidence, and produce any documentation that is necessary for them to carry out an investigation. I'll be more than happy to work with them. Yes.
Meaning you're detaining yourself in this morning by 11?
Yeah, I am going to the police at 11 o'clock this morning.
Is it the Monrovia, Liberia Central?
Yeah, the central place. But I already called the IG and told him that I wanted to go 2 o'clock because I'm a little bit tired, but if you say the earlier the better, so I am preparing myself to go. I'm having my breakfast.
Is it from political pressure? Because we saw your party issue a statement late last night calling on you to, avail yourself to investigation. Does that have any sway in you going to the police station this morning, Mr. Jackson?
Sam Jackson doesn't get swayed by anybody. Sam Jackson is his own man. I mean, even if God said for me to go, and I didn't want to go out, but I mean, it is the right thing to do because clearly this case has taken on national, international dimensions, right? And it would be a good thing for me to go and provide whatever, any answer any question and produce whatever the police wants out of me, I mean, clearly they want me to give my views on this. I'm going to go and give and speak as truthfully as what happened because the evidence is very clear.
Have you been contacted by the South Africans? Remember your wife was a South African. Have you gotten any information from them?
I contacted them first thing in the morning when she passed. I was the one who contacted them. They didn't contact me. I contacted them and I asked them to go take a look at the body. I did that. And I called the charge, okay, and I called one or two South Africans in fact, the South Africans were with me at the hospital, right? So let's go. Just have the ball that play. That's what we have to do.
You said from the onset you thought it was a weird joke.
No, because
so from what point did you get to know that it was a serious matter?
When I see on social media my wife's naked picture, like the dead body, with the brain surgery mark on it, and I see all these pictures with her with her eyes swollen and all of that with bruises on her, and they're like trying to say that I have to provide evidence on that. Every single thing that is an explanation, my lawyer would be producing these today. So I'm not even worried.
Mr. You've lived in advanced countries, far advanced than Liberia. Do you see this as part of the initial steps in any suspicion raised, or you think you're being targeted? Because in these cases, the spouse or the last known person, is always the person of interest. Do you see this as standard investigative practice, or you think you've been targeted?
Let me explain to some of you. That is standard thing. The husband or the spouse in any sort of these things, whether it's a death, the spouse is the primary suspect, right? But when I see like a phalanx of police officers fully armed around my house, then it takes a political dimension because I'm 73 years old. The fence is about 8 feet high, and they know that. So where am I going? And I'm a prominent person. Where would I go to have all these police officers? So I thought it was so they politicize it, but that's fine. Okay, we need to let them do their job. I need to avail myself to the police
So, folks, we're now heading to the headquarters of the LMP, and of course, the convoy taking Mr. Samuel Jackson has just passed us. It's just right ahead of us, as you can see, the pickup there ahead of us. Mr. Samuel Jackson is in there, and there's a police pickup also in front, and they're both they're all headed to the police headquarters. If you look ahead of us there, so they've just passed us, and we're driving right behind them, and we're making our way to the headquarters of the LMP. So We'll be there briefly, folks. Keep watching. Once we get down, we'll run there and see if we can show you. I'll probably show you Mr. Samuel Jackson leaving the vehicle, but he's going to the headquarters of the Liberian National Police to probably answer questions for the passing of his South African spouse, who allegedly have passed out of domestic violence. So the vehicles are now branching in already into the police headquarters. There you have them there, branching in already into the police headquarters. So we're going to run there briefly. Once we get down, we're going to run there. So folks, we are already here. As you're seeing the folks there, they're running there. We want to see Mr. Samuel Jackson. Right here, it's fine. Put me here. Let me run there. Oh yes, right here. So here we are. Mr. Samuel Jackson is here with armed police officers here. So these are the officers that brought. So Mr. Samuel Jackson is here. He's asking if he's under arrest. Police officers. Mr. Jackson is here. Of course, he's been brought by the police. Okay.
So do you believe that you leave the premise of the headquarters of the Liberian National Police today?
Is that your lawyer behind you there, sir? Okay. Okay.
You appear very stressed. What's your name, sir? Of the chairman associate law firm. Okay. So you've escorted your client here this morning. What's the conviction? Well, as respecter of the law, we have to come upon request. And it's a criminal investigation and decision will come so that we get before the branch of what the complaints against our client is and what the term of the police investigation is. But we know that as the trend of the investigation will be from the information received by our client, we are able to put up a very lawful legal defense. What did the client tell you? What did the client tell you? No, we cannot say now for some reason of not going ahead the trial and the proceedings.
But what are authority accusing your client of?
All codes are closed.
The criminal investigation will take time. Obviously, we now have the criminal investigation commenced today, and we have matter going to court today. So we are aware of that. We are cognizant of that.
And you are optimistic that your client will leave today?
To his legal representative. Come again?
You are optimistic your client will leave?
Well, Mr. Jackson is a respecter of the law, and he knows the trend of police investigation. I'm sure he's willing for any eventuality.
A lot of people say your clients break a series of interviews, and some of the comments he made could be used in the investigation. Where do you stand on that?
Well, there is a principle of law that talks about hearsay and solicitation of facts, all sort of regular investigation. And those gatherings, so they are not being asked to go in. They are not being asked to. Mr. Jackson, what's allowed for people going in? Mr. Jackson, what's allowed for people going in? Mr. Jackson,
If you can prepare, Mr. Jackson, in case of any eventuality.
what's allowed for people going in? Mr. Jackson.
The facts will speak for themselves. Thank you very much.
Okay, you listen for him.
So he is Mr. Sam Jackson.
So folks, you just listened to Mr. Samuel Jackson. He's going there now, escorted by his legal counsel, and you heard him. The facts will speak for themselves, according to him. Police officers are here right at the entry, and you heard from his legal representative, who said his client is innocent of allegations. We're asking what authorities or the police are charging or are claiming have invited his client for, but he has made it clear, he himself, Mr. Jackson, has refused to say much to us, but he said the facts will speak for themselves. But he has been brought to the police headquarters already. Upon yesterday, after the news of his spouse, after his spouse had passed, and police authorities were at his residence. And this morning, he was picked up from his residence and brought here at the police headquarters, probably for questioning. So he has gone in there. We don't know how long he's going to remain there, but we've been informed that Mr. Jackson will answer questions here at the police headquarters. So for those of you watching, leave your comments in the comment section. Mr. Jackson's legal representation also said that his client, Mr. Samuel Jackson, is a respecter of the law and has also made it clear that his client has willingly submitted himself to authorities here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police after the passing of his spouse. So we are also being informed that other lawyers from Mr. Jackson's legal representation are making their way here at the headquarters of the LMP. So we just drove a few moments ago behind the convoy that brought Mr. Samuel Jackson here at the headquarters of the LMP with one police pickup. And Mr. Jackson drove here at the police headquarters in his own vehicle and also with his legal representation. So he's already here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police as it relates to the passing of his South African spouse. It's been alleged that Mr. Jackson's spouse passed out of domestic violence. There are very graphic images on social media that are being shared of Mr. Jackson's spouse upon her demise. But it's also been alleged by Mr. Samuel Jackson that authorities went and assessed the remains of his South African spouse who had passed without informing him. But again, he has also made several angry posts on social media accusing the government of politically harassing him and not being sympathetic with him after he had lost his spouse or during his grieving time. So these photos being shared on social media are very graphic and they've raised alarm, and they could probably be the reason that authorities have decided to launch an investigation into the passing of Mr. Jackson's spouse. Now, do not forget, Mr. Jackson's spouse is a South African and got married to Mr. Samuel Jackson and has been here in Liberia for some time now. So the authorities have now launched an investigation into the passing of Mr. Jackson's wife. And this could also come out of statements that Mr. Jackson placed on social media on how his wife passed. According to Mr. Jackson, he had informed his wife. It's also more lawyers. Lawyers are arriving here, believed to be part of Mr. Jackson's legal team. But we heard from one of them previously, and he said Mr. Jackson is a respecter of the law and he has brought himself willingly to the authorities to respond to questions. So Mr. Jackson, upon arriving, only requested for his bag, requested for a few bottles of water, and they are being taken in there to Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson's lawyer are now going back and forth with police authorities in ensuring that Mr. Jackson can get his basic needs in there while the discussions go on. But that's one of Mr. Jackson's lawyers there. He's now taking Mr. Jackson's bag and taking a few bottles of water in there for Mr. Samuel Jackson. So now the so the police is now asking everyone to depart the premises of the Liberian National Police headquarters except for media practitioners. But folks, Mr. Samuel Jackson has already been brought at the LMP headquarters, guys, and he's already in there. So that's it. Wherever you're watching from, keep watching. Of course, Mr. Jackson also made it clear when he was asked, he's made it clear that he's not afraid, he's not running away. In fact, he's bereaved, and he is willing to cooperate with the authorities here at to willingly submit himself to police authorities. So where we are now, Mr. Jackson is already here at the police headquarters, and he has refused to say much to media practitioners, but members of his legal representation made a statement. They said Mr. Jackson has willingly presented himself, and according to Mr. Jackson himself lastly, before walking into the LMP headquarters, he said the facts will speak for themselves. In fact, that's one of his usual statements that he makes on social media. Remember, Mr. Jackson is a political pundit, of course, Liberian Economist, and he unfortunately lost his spouse. But of course, statements Mr. Jackson have placed on social media probably might have indicted him. We cannot independently verify on what details the police got or what information the police is acting on to have requested Mr. Jackson to be brought to the police headquarters. But as it stands, there are very graphic images of Mr. Jackson's wife that are now trending on social media, and these images could depict that there might have been issue of domestic violence in Mr. Jackson's home. Some of these images are very damaging, very graphic to see. Also, there have also been images that have been shared of the remains of Mr. Jackson's wife after she passed. Mr. Jackson, in his statement or in his testament that he posted on social media, he said, so folks, Mr. Jackson in his testament just the other day made it clear that he earlier informed his wife they were both headed for shopping for an eventual wedding, and of course upon his return to his house he had asked to see his wife, invited his cook to open up her door, but according to him, the cook told him that his wife might have been sleeping or resting, but then he himself eventually made his own way into the room and met his spouse lying dead. So Mr. Jackson, according to him, then took his spouse at the hospital, a medical facility, and upon examination by doctors, in his own words, he was told that his wife had experienced brain injury, and she eventually passed. And so immediately, a few hours later, there were police at Mr. Jackson's residence during the evening hours of yesterday, and Mr. Jackson frowned at the presence of the police, also frowning at the information he gathered that police authorities are going to view the remains of his spouse without having him informed. So we want to see if we can read out some of your comments, especially those of you who are watching, to bring you into this broadcast so we can have your own view on what's currently transpiring. But as it stands, Mr. Samuel Jackson is already here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. Lots of Liberians are encouraging Mr. Samuel Jackson to make himself available to investigation. A lot of Liberians who are also sending their sympathy to Mr. Jackson for the passing of his wife, but at the same time are encouraging him to submit himself for the investigation that is ongoing, because it's obvious now that authorities have launched an investigation into the passing of Mr. Samuel Jackson's wife, who happens to be a South African national.
Please, can we get on one side, please? Please, sir. Get on one side. Please, on one side, please.
So the police now deploying officers to secure the premises. They've asked media practitioners to clear the way. So we're now seeing the arrival of the Colonel Gregory Coleman, the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police. It appears he's going to be the one to So folks, we just saw the arrival of the Inspector General of Police, Colonel Gregory Coleman. He has just arrived here already. He already has made his way into the police headquarters already, Colonel Gregory Coleman. And so it appears the panel is already set in there to conduct this investigation. We do not know how long Mr. Samuel Jackson is going to make in there, but we're going to wait out here and show you the happenings as they all, occur. And then eventually when Mr. Jackson is departing, we're hoping to see, we don't know if Mr. Jackson will probably be taken into custody today or if he will be released or allowed to go home. We do not know yet, and that will be probably, we will find out more details after the meeting with Mr. Jackson has been held here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. But so we just saw the arrival of the IG, by the way, Colonel Gregory Coleman, who has already made his way into the LMP headquarters. So so we don't know if it's just Mr. Jackson alone who has been brought to the police headquarters. We do not know if it's just Mr. Jackson alone or if there are other people who are being treated as suspects or persons of interest. We cannot independently verify that. But what we've seen so far is Mr. Samuel Jackson being brought here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. Of course, we are being informed that at his house, he had house helps, employees. He usually used that particular term, his domestic staffs. In fact, in one of his posts on social media, it was his cook who he sent to open his door and to check on his wife. But then she came back telling him that his wife was asleep. So Mr. Jackson eventually went to the room himself. So as far as we are concerned, it's Mr. Jackson alone, who is here along with his legal team. They are in here at the headquarters of the Liberian National Police. So let's see if we can read out some of your comments for those of you who are watching to tell us what is your take into this particular issue. Of course, we don't know how long Mr. Jackson is going to make here at the police headquarters, but we're going to be live for some time and keep updating you to see whether he will depart the LNP or if he's going to make quite a long time here. But as you know, it relates to the crucial nature of this particular situation. It appears it might take some time, so we're going to wait as Mr. Samuel Jackson has already gone in there. So keep watching wherever you're watching from and leave your comments. We're still here at the headquarters at the LNP. So for those of you in the comment, let's read your comments. Let's read your comments. Someone said, this is Joshua Blama says Mr. Jackson should be very careful. His previous statement and the recent one is complicating things. He previously said he's not a woman beater in his term describing domestic violence, and later confirmed that he had beaten his wife as normal couple often fight at home. That's one of those commenting here. Someone said it shouldn't just be his one. Everybody who live or work in his house need to be there and be asked questions also. That's Joetta Blessing Eagle. And also Joseph Fire said, let Mr. Sam Jackson be placed behind bars for 72 hours. We're still seeing police officers securing the premises of the Liberian National Police. We also saw the police RG going in there. So we'll stay here and remain posted to update you. Lamin Seyon said this man knows about his wife's death. So let the police do their work. Well, that's an outright accusation that no proof has been provided yet that Mr. Jackson has got anything or has a hand in the passing of his wife. That's why an investigation has been launched, and the findings are yet to be brought out. But we're waiting, obviously. We also have Ibrahim Laman says he's following a justifiable investigation into this case. Remember, still innocent till proven guilty, definitely. So it's obvious, of course, until proven guilty, Mr. Jackson can be declared or considered innocent of these crimes. That's why an investigation has been launched already. So someone says the blood of the innocent girl will not rest until she gets justice. Prince Jala says he's watching us from Gimpa University in Ghana, and he praises the government for the effort. Speaking of watching from Ghana, you may know of the current trending incident of the passing of a Liberian national in Ghana, and Ghanaian authorities have arrested the situation, have launched an investigation, have arrested suspects also, and that case still continues. So the government of Liberia also launching this investigation. Come to think of it, Mr. Jackson's spouse is from South Africa, and she is a different national. So keep watching us, folks. Keep watching wherever you're following from. Someone says those who walk in his house also need to be questioned. Martin W. Brown. Choosing Singbe Selma said today he will know the difference between. Someone said please stop saying. A bunch of comments in the comment section. We want to make sure we can read the ones that I literally refined. Renee said we are citizens, we need justice, and justice should be treated as a rightful proceeding. And then also Jackson Jala says the law is the law, and I have confidence in the rules of law. And then Sylvester City sends his deepest condolences to Mr. Jackson. He also welcomed the police investigation to ascertain the cause of death, of course, of his spouse. So someone also, Amos Bear said bravo to the Liberian National Police for declaring Samuel Jackson as a person of interest in the passing of his spouse. He also wants us to know and understand the function of the Liberian National Police. This is not politics. The Liberian National Police functions as the primary internal security force responsible for maintaining public order, protecting life and property, and enforcing laws. So, of course, the police are doing their work. They're playing their part to have Mr. Jackson brought here at the LMP headquarters. Today is a Saturday. There is not much presence of folks working here at the LMP, but of course there are officers, and we already saw the police IG arriving, and I guess he's going to be the one to hold discussions in there or carry out questioning with Mr. Samuel Jackson already in there. Mr. Jackson is a fierce critic of government, of course. In fact, on yesterday, he described the presence of police at his residence as political intimidation, also frowning on the police or the authorities assessing the remains of his partner without informing him, in his own words. So we stay here at the LMP headquarters. We do not know how long Mr. Jackson is going to make in there, but we are with any moment from now. We're hoping we can see his lawyers out here and see if we can talk to them. But we spoke to some of his lawyers, and they made it clear that their client, Mr. Samuel Jackson, is innocent of any allegations that have been leveled against him. In fact, Mr. Jackson himself did say that the facts will speak for themselves as it relates to him being brought here at the headquarters of the LMP. Mr. Samuel Jackson's wife passed. In his statement that he released on social media, he met his spouse lying conscious or semi-conscious, at least according to what he said, in their bedroom, and she was rushed to the medical facility where she was eventually pronounced dead. But Mr. Jackson did point out that at the medical facility, doctors diagnosed that his spouse had experienced a brain issue, got affected, of course, and eventually Mr. Jackson also did say the cause would have been either from a fall, according to what Samuel Jackson, posted on social media. So while he's here, he has been brought to be made to answer questions. Of course, we also saw the police IG. But obviously, we might also want to look in as the investigation continues. There are obviously, what are some of the issues that will be brought forth before Mr. Jackson. It's been alleged of domestic violence. It's been alleged, of course, there are images that have been shared on social media which are believed to have been shared by Mr. Jackson's spouse or self to probably close friends, but these images are being shared on social media. So folks are now alleging foul play. And of course, Mr. Jackson himself did make it clear that his spouse was found lying and put of blood in his room, and he's been brought here to respond or answer questions, because based on the testament or based on what he posted on social media, he came home and met his spouse lying in a pool of blood. So there are obviously questions have to be raised. Was it just an ordinary fall? What did the pool of blood come from, or what made her, what eventually led to her lying in the pool of her own blood? So obviously these questions, there are several questions, of course, but this particular situation is worth investigating from what Mr. Jackson posted on social media, because he claimed he came and met his spouse lying in the pool of her own blood. He did not say that his home got intruded into. According to him, he returned home, he met his cook, he met his employees home, he sent them to go check on his wife, and they told us she was probably asleep, but then he eventually made his way into the room and found his spouse lying in the pool of her own blood. So obviously this could raise concerns, or has raised concerns, and the police have now launched an investigation into what has transpired at Mr. Jackson's residence. So we're still here at the headquarters of the LMP. We're waiting now to see if Mr. Samuel Jackson, as the investigation continues in there, might come out. His lawyers say their client is innocent of all the allegations that have been labeled against him. Mr. Jackson himself also did say that the facts will speak for themselves. So as this particular investigation continues, Mr. Samuel Jackson, of course, will eventually be charged by authority, or probably forwarded to court to look deep into the issue. So we'll rejoin you. We're here at the LMP headquarters. We'll rejoin you once we see any action here at the LMP headquarters. Keep watching us.